We mainly talk about how to build a successful jewelry brand on this channel, but I think it's also equally important to understand what behaviors and actions are going to lead to failure so that you don't do these things. If you don't do the things that are going to make you fail, you probably won't fail. So let's define what this is. If I wanted to run a jewelry brand into the ground, what would I do to do that? Number one, I would sell to everybody. I would say everyone is my customer, and I wouldn't pick a niche, and I would just say anyone that wants to buy our jewelry is my customer. And by doing that, I would be spending a ton of money on ads, and I would be competing with every other jeweler in the market. The other thing that I would do is I would pick no niche for my products. I would just sell anything that I could to anyone from before. So I wouldn't really have any particular style to my jewelry, and I would sell things that everyone else sells. And because of that, it would drive my price down, and it would be a race to the bottom on who can sell this same tennis chain that everybody has. The other thing that I would do to run a jewelry brand into the ground would be that I would ignore digital. I would be looking at all these new jewelry brands that are coming onto the market with new players in the industry that are making waves and finding a way to gain traction, and I would keep selling in my physical store only to people in my community. I would completely ignore the disruption of digital relationship selling, and I would only sell to people in my immediate area while my competitors came into my market, and I wouldn't understand why everything has gotten so slow. The other thing that I would do if I wanted to run a jewelry brand into the ground is that I wouldn't adhere to any best practices for operations. I would just think of the whole operation in terms of people. Like, rather than it being in production, or the order being in shipping, or the order being in verification, or something like that, I would be thinking, oh, it's with John because he does that. Oh, it's with Stephanie because she's the one doing shipping, or whatever it would be. I would be thinking in terms of people rather than departments and an organized operation. Finally, I would just make sure that everything is manual. I wouldn't have any software tools. I wouldn't have any type of technology. I wouldn't adopt any new technology if I didn't have to until I saw other people getting put out of business. At that point, it would be too late. So those are the things that I would do if I wanted to run a jewelry business into the ground. If you want to do the opposite of that and you want to be successful, head to jewelersadvantage.com. You can set up a call with our team and we'll walk you through all of the opposites of how to run a jewelry brand into the ground and instead make your jewelry brand ascend to greatness by adopting new methods of capitalizing on the market. That's jewelersadvantage.com. See you there.